All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin, Brandon from Los Angeles, California. One day left until Friday. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you are listening in from. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. We have Patty Moore from Hawaii, Gina Muhammad, Anita Hudson, Tony Pinkston, Omar Jarrett from Connecticut, Shane West from Chicago, Bridget Fowler from New Jersey, Benita Nunez from Pennsylvania, Bethany Gibbs, Seattle, Karen Govier from Oregon, Rohan Johnson from the ATL. Good morning, everybody. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? What is your vehicle of choice? Make a decision, take action, remain focused, and do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this space. You have limited resources and limited time. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's get things kicked off here, starting with what's going on with the coin market cap. Well, got to stop saying that. Coin Gecko. Well, what's going on with the market? Market is at 177 billion. That is down from 183 billion a little over a day ago, but still up 1.2% over the last 24 hours. $66 billion trade volume. Bitcoin dominance is down to 50.2%, which means the altcoins are having a little bit of a rise. Ethereum 9.7, Ripple 8.2. Over the past hour, everything is in the green. The market's looking positive. 24 hours, not so much so. There was a minor correction. As you saw, Ethereum went down 4.7%, Ripple 5.5%. But the last 7 days, look at these gains. Bitcoin up 24.8%, Ethereum 16.9%, Ripple 12%, Bitcoin Cash 85.7% increase in the last 7 days. You would have almost doubled your money just holding Bitcoin Cash. EOS 23.8%, Litecoin up 44.6%, Cardano 39.3%. Another one, OKB 42.2%. Who's been the biggest gainer over the last 7 days? Bitcoin Cash has been. Then Dogecoin, Elastos, IOST, VBOX token. I don't think that really matters. Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Let's see. Cardano, 39.3%. Dash, 36%. Tezos. And Bitcoin SV was up 30%. Monero up 25%. Bitcoin, 24%. It's been a good run the last 7 days. The current, go back to the coin. The current BTC price is at 49.85, so it's dipped below 5,000, but it's right there. So as long as Bitcoin is in that 5,000 region, you're going to hear me playing I Got 5 on it. That's going to be my theme for however long this lasts, next week or month or so. So let's look at now some news. Actor turned crypto whiz Brock Pierce buys a $1.3 million mansion with Bitcoin. In other words, you know what? He probably got that mansion for free. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, Brock Pierce, he's been buying crypto back when it was less than $1,000 a coin. So think about that. Whatever he spent on it back then is what the cost of his house is. It's now worth $1.3 million. To him, it's like, yeah, I got it for free. You know, maybe I spent 50 grand on crypto. Maybe he spent $1 million. Who knows? Who knows how much crypto he actually has? One sec. Doing crypto talk. All right, let me put this link in the chat box. I see we have Cleve Stewart, Lorna Vasquez, Ronnie Ross, Court Gomes. Okay, by actor turned crypto entrepreneur Brock Pierce used Bitcoin as collateral to purchase a $1.3 million mansion in Amsterdam. The real estate transaction represents the first ever crypto-backed mortgage. Really? So they didn't look at that as a cash transaction, but as a mortgage? That's interesting. How much did he have to put down then? And why would you do that? Because well, unless they're really looking long term, because Bitcoin can go the other direction and stay there for a year or so. Swiss cryptocurrency startup Nexo, we've covered Nexo before, facilitated the purchase. Nexo is a crypto wallet that lets you borrow up to $2 million in 45 different fiat currencies within 24 hours. He backed the entire loan for the house with Bitcoin. Nexo co-founder Anthony Trinchev told Fox Business, "This was our first ever crypto-backed mortgage." Interesting. Brock Pierce, you know what? Let's say those of you that's, you know, looking to get a house and you're saving up all your ducats for it. What if you were sitting on $1 or $2 million worth of crypto, but you didn't want to sell it? So you get a mortgage, and that's your asset to back it up. That's smart. I see what Nexo's doing here. Brock Pierce holds 95% of net worth in crypto. Now, I don't advise that. You know, most of the millionaires and billionaires have between 1 to 5% of their net worth is in crypto at this early stage. Now, that still could be worth in the millions, but Brock is going all in. 95% of his net worth is in crypto. Brock Pierce is a former child actor who starred on the hit 1992 film The Mighty Ducks, opposite Emilio Estevez. Pierce has since become a crypto entrepreneur and venture capitalist, who's now the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation. Amazingly, Pierce holds more than 95% of his net worth in cryptocurrencies. Tokenization will be quadrillion-dollar market. I'm going to make a prediction here. Brock Pierce is also going to become one of the world's richest men. Right? In November 2018, Pierce used $3 million in Bitcoin as collateral to buy his lavish Amsterdam mansion. Nexo's Anthony Trinchev said Pierce initially wanted to hold all his crypto assets, but needed the cash to buy the property. So he used his Bitcoin holdings as collateral. So we take that Bitcoin and other digital currencies as collateral using a third-party qualified custodian to store it and give them fiat cash for it, but neither the client nor us have access to the coin. For a loan of $10,000, you will need to deposit $20,000 in Bitcoin. So we lend you 50 cents on the dollar. Pierce says being able to borrow fiat money against his crypto assets is a convenient financing method. It also aligns with my philosophy that real estate and tokenization will be a quadrillion-dollar market. That's very smart. Because I was able to hold on to my crypto and settle the transaction in fiat. So yeah, so instead of having to sell his crypto, he borrowed on it. And with the value of crypto that's just going to go up, it's going to pay for itself. So he's going to get all that right back and still have the mansion. Mike Novogratz, real estate tokenization will be big. I see. I hope you guys can see this. This is a whole new industry. As CCM reported, Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz believes the tokenization of assets such as real estate is an emerging trend. Novogratz, the founder of crypto investment bank Galaxy Digital Capital Management, said several companies have begun tokenizing luxury condos in the Tony real estate markets of New York and Aspen, Colorado. You're going to see more and more of that. It's not nearly as sexy as Web 3.0, but it's a part of this broader movement of tokenization, digitalization in blockchain. The blockchain makes a lot possible. So this goes back to the beginning where I used to say, and I still say, the blockchain is going to disrupt every single industry, period. Every single one. Here's another one it's doing that with. Many condo buildings are getting their own tokens, representing a fractional interest in the property. This enables owners to invest in luxury condos, even with a small investment, something that previously was extremely difficult. New York City real estate agent Ryan Serhant says tokenization could revolutionize real estate financing. With blockchain tokenization, we can remove the unruly pressure of traditional bank financing, which is much healthier for the project and all of the stakeholders, Serhant said. Tokenization is paving the way for a new forefront in real estate development. That is powerful. That is interesting. I like that article. Oh, let me see this. CCN is an unbiased financial news site reporting on U.S. markets and cryptocurrencies. Op-eds and opinions should not be attributed to CCN. Unbiased. Well, AOC's dismal favorability proves Democrats are smarter than Republicans. That doesn't sound unbiased. I have a side eye on CCN right now. They just reported on crypto. Now they're reporting on many different things, which could be okay if it has something to do with crypto. I think right now, so far, one of the agencies that is still heavily, all the reporting is still crypto is news.bitcoin.com. I'll show you the difference, what I mean by this. CCN is getting a little too big for themselves. So we got one article about Bitcoin Cash, how to create and send cryptocurrency invoices. Ooh, that's a good one. Russian banks join Chinese SWIFT. The dollar era under threat. Try crypto trading with sim games. So this is all crypto stuff. But if I go to CCN, here's what I see. Jerry Nadler grandstands as liberals move the Mueller report goalpost. What in the world? This is the top. What does this have to do with crypto? Now this does. Hack Bitcoin exchange BitHum. Bitcoin bullish. Tesla stock crashes 10% after reported. That has nothing to do with crypto. Coinbase CEO wants to overthrow corrupt dictators after hiring them. That does. Dow booms as bullish trade war. So I mean, they're talking about AOC. They talk a lot of politics and stuff. Trump hater Adam Schiff doubles down on Russian collusion, delusion. That is not an unbiased headline there, unless they're saying that's an opinion piece. Anyways, done with that one. Let's look at Bloomberg. Bloomberg report suggests algorithmic trading caused Bitcoin's recent price surge. So I did Crypto Talk yesterday, and there were three reasons or three suggestions on why the market rose. You guys remember what those three were? I don't. I got to go off the top of my head. One was a whale moving hundreds of millions of crypto around. Okay, that was one reason. Another reason was a mass movement of trading. Oh, wait, well, that's what this one is. Algorithmic trading. The other was the SEC approving a couple of ETFs. So let's see what this one's talking about, what Bloomberg's saying. And let me put this in the chat box. Algorithmic trading relies on automated software to identify trading opportunities. So we're talking about AI here, artificial intelligence, where KGX will be launching 2 products doing this. So this really caught my attention. According to this Bloomberg piece, which was published on April 3rd, algorithmic hedge funds could be an important driver behind the recent surge in Bitcoin prices. For those unfamiliar with the concept, algorithmic trading is a computer-driven type of trading, which relies on automated software to identify trends and decide when to execute trades, AI. Furthermore, Bloomberg reports that around 17 different algorithmic or quantitative cryptocurrency funds have launched since last September. As such, these funds reportedly constitute a whopping 40% of all the cryptocurrency hedge funds started during this time. This is why another reason why I don't day trade as much as I used to. Yeah, you can't beat the computer. And the computer's not thinking, like a human would. The best thing you can do, if you want to day trade, I'm going to give you guys a free, charge you for this strategy here. I don't know if Binance, because it moves so fast, is much bigger. Polonius is easier to see. I'm going to give you an example. I'm looking at the current buy orders and sell orders, and I see a bot. I don't know who controls this bot. I think it is Polonius themselves, because I never see it actually executing any trades. It's constantly changing its numbers. But it's got a buy order in here for $49.43, 32 Bitcoin. It's $158,000. The current price, $49.71. The high, $52.74. Low, $47.84. So they've got a buy order at $49.34 or 43. The same bot, sell order. Where is it? It's not on here. The last time this happened, when there was a buy order and no sell order, the market jumped up $400 because the bot had no intention on selling. So, red alert. Something's about to happen on the market. Red alert. When you look at things long enough, you start to notice patterns. Eldridge, you down in Medellin, Colombia. Glad you made it down there safely. How long are you going to be down there for? But last time, remember I did this last time before the market jumped up. It was at 3,800, 3,900. And I noticed there was a buy order there for the bot, but there was no sell order for it. It's like they got the inside scoop. They know something's about to go down. So keep a watch today. Let's see, or the next 2 days. See if something develops. But what I would do, if the bot has a buy order in for now it's changed, 49.27, I would put a buy order in for 49.35, 49.40. Undercut it. If it had a sell order in, like these orders in here for 49.95, I would put a sell order in for 49.80, so that I'm piggybacking off of what the big dogs were doing. Make your micro profits, swing trades. You can make a lot of money off of doing 2-3% a day on your own trading. So anyways, this caught my attention. There it is. There it is. So it does have it. Okay. It's got a sell order for 49.84 and a buy order 48.94. All right. False alarm. It's there, but I would follow them. And that's basically what the, I don't want to say arbitrage, but AI software kind of does. It looks at the market, able to follow the whales, what they're doing. But I made a lot of money doing that. Okay, let's go back. However, there is some division as to how investors regard algorithmic trading. The CEO of the London-based crypto firm BCB Group, Oliver von Landsberg Sadie, expanded on this issue. Some people are in the camp where algorithmic trading is a manipulative device, and others are of the view that they are a way to make markets more efficient. I am definitely of the second view. I agree. It makes it more efficient. Did a massive $100 million Bitcoin order drive the recent Bitcoin price surge? However, the effectiveness of algorithmic trading is undeniable. Further illustrating this, some of the previously mentioned algorithmic cryptocurrency funds managed gains between 3 to 10% last year, whilst the cryptocurrency market as a whole lost around 72% in value during 2018 severe bear market. In addition to this, Bloomberg also stated that Bitcoin's sudden 20% surge this past Tuesday, as the Asian markets opened, could be attributed to a large automated $100 million trade made over 3 different exchanges. Specifically, a massive 20,000 BTC order was said to have been issued and spread out over the exchanges Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp. Following this large order, algorithmic bots are then believed to have begun trading, leading prices and volumes alike to increase. Although Bloomberg noted that some entrepreneurs, such as Wei Zhao, the CFO of Binance, are positive towards algorithmic cryptocurrency trading, the industry is far from a consensus on the issue. Well, it doesn't matter if you are positive on it or not. What you think about it is irrelevant. Instead, some fear that algorithmic trading could pave the way for market manipulation. It is, oh, really? The market is so small right now, one order is going to manipulate the market. I was taught, don't trade more than $10,000 on any one trade, any one account. If you're going to do 40 or 50 or 60,000, have it in multiple accounts on multiple exchanges. Because what ends up happening is you now become the catalyst. Instead of you reacting to the market's reacting to you. So if you know what you're doing, you can definitely manipulate the market. That's how pump and dumps are done. Remember the old pump and dump groups from 2017? Those Telegram groups? That's what they did. So this thing's got to get into the trillions as far as market cap before, you're not going to have manipulation like that. So don't blame it on the Autobots, the artificial intelligence. Okay, last up. Terrifying $243 trillion global debt bomb is a disaster only Bitcoin can fix. This is something, it's not just American debt, but we're talking about worldwide debt. Global debt now stands at a terrifying $243 trillion, according to a report by the Institute of International Finance this week. That's quarter of a quadrillion. We're in the realms of the absurd. This is unsustainable, and it's the fault of a broken and irresponsible monetary system. addicted to printing money and issuing credit. It's time to admit we need a new alternative. While it's far from perfect, Bitcoin offers a viable solution with its fixed supply and regulated output. It's time for a revolution. I agree. The record figure stands at 3 times the world's total gross domestic product. Meaning, if the world, all the money the world made, we used it to pay the debt, it would take 3 years to pay the debt off. And nobody in the world getting that money. That's not sustainable. The figure peaked in the first quarter of 2018 when it hit 248 trillion. It has since fallen back slightly. The U.S. is among the biggest offenders. Total U.S. national debt hit 22 trillion this year. 22 trillion. You got to understand our population size. What are we at? About 400 million now? There's over 1 billion people in India alone and China. We are a small percentage of the world's population. 7 billion around the world. We don't even have 500 million people. Yet, we have our current lifestyles, our way of life, the American dream. That's a nightmare for most people. And we can't afford to live how we currently are right now. Wow. On the surface, non-financial corporate debt in the U.S. is now close to its pre-2008 crisis highs. On the surface, credit can help spur growth. Governments, companies, and individuals borrow money to fund economic development. I agree with that, but you got to pay it back. When you grow money, when you make the money, pay off the debt. Economics 101. The problem comes when it doesn't work. When there's not sufficient growth, we borrow more and more, as John Malden writes in Forbes. This is classic addiction behavior. You have to keep raising the dose to get the same high. Central banks enable debt because they think it will generate economic growth. Sometimes it does. The problem is they create debt with little regard for how it will be used. Oh, here's a good graphic. Here you go, Bethany. Good graphic. U.S. got the biggest ball there. Then you got China, Japan, France, UK. So all the Western countries got the biggest debt. You know, I asked my son, what's he studying right now? Studying in history, the rise and fall of nations. You know, when you're in a country and you're on top of the world, do you think that it's always going to be that way? It's not. The Roman Empire at one point was at the top of the food chain for a millennia. Okay? We're talking 1,500 years. The United States is 242 years old. I was born July 13th, 1976, which was the year's bicentennial. So I always know how old the nation is by my own birth date. I'll be 43 this year. 243 years old in July is the United States of America. We've been dominant for the last 70 years after World War II. That's it. That's all we know, because that's all we've known all our lives, being number one. But we're just a blip on the radar screen compared to old dynasties and countries that have been on top. It didn't last, and they self-imploded from within. It's a cycle. So right now you got the West on top. Well, when that pops, who's gonna stand up and take the mantle? I remember I asked this question to my Sunday school teacher, and she didn't like me very much. If I remember this, I'll be honest, because I challenged everything. I was like, Adam and Eve, where did the, Cain and Abel, Cain killed Abel? Well, who did Cain marry? Well, his sister? What do they mean? Who are the other people on the planet if Adam and Eve were the first? I ask questions like that. How can Methuselah live to be 1,000 years old or 900 something or 700 something years old? Did they have better health care back then? Did they have hospitals like we do? But I also asked about when we started studying Revelation. And I was older now, though, but I asked this question. I said, a lot of the nations of the world are represented by, like, animals. The lion, which is the UK, the dragon, Russia, the sleeping bear, the dragon, China, the sleeping bear, Russia. The Revelation says these things that you can kind of point out. There's no mention of the United States. And then one's, well, it says the son of the lion. Where does it say the son of the lion? Because the lion is represented for Great Britain. There's no mention of the United States. When the end time comes, there may not be a United States of America as we know it today. So to sit here and think that because we're on top now, that we will always be that way is arrogant and lunacy. There's an ebb and flow to these things. The West is going to fall. Who's going to rise? Bitcoin's, I went way off on tangent there. I apologize. Bitcoin's fixed supply is an antidote to central banks' addiction to printing money and encouraging debt. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist, and they're created according to a strict output cycle regulated by math. The supply cannot be manipulated or increased according to the whims of any one government or bank. As Shapeshift CEO Eric Voorhees explains, when the rising debt maintain implodes, people will flock to crypto in their hordes. Bitcoin, is it a viable alternative? Bitcoin offers a sharp contrast to the fiat system. In our fiat system, central banks create money out of thin air in a process called quantitative easing. In simple terms, the central bank issue new money and use it to buy bonds and assets. This has the effect of introducing more money into supply, lowering the purchasing power of your money, and encouraging low-cost lending. And when one country uses QE and low interest rates to spur its economy, others inevitably do the same. It creates a race to the bottom where every country is flooding its economy with cheap money to stay competitive. The result is a mountain of unsustainable $243 trillion debt, something most people don't even know exists. It's time for a new system. As Henry Ford said, it is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there will be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Henry Ford said that 100 years ago. 100 years ago, the U.S. dollar was worth 95% more than it is today. And guess what? The people today are even more ignorant about our banking and monetary system than they were 100 years ago. Even my own brother. The U.S. dollar is backed by gold. What's Bitcoin backed by? What? You were born in 1978. It's never been backed by gold in your entire life. He has a master's degree and his own business. All I'm saying is, do not look towards your government, regardless of who the president is, to save you. You got to go by what Jim Rome says. His ultimate goal was to build a financial wall around his family so high that nothing can penetrate it. Your goal built that financial resources so great that you will be able to last and survive anything that happens. If we go into an economic collapse, you will barely feel it. If the government does something crazy, you will still survive. One thing that money does, what people don't understand, is energy. Money is nothing but energy. Don't you feel like you got more energy when you have more money in the bank? Don't you feel better on payday? It's like the less money in your bank account, you feel slow, you feel drawn down, you feel a heavy weight on your shoulders. But now the next thing you know, that tax return comes in, you feel light-footed again. You feel like you can breathe. You feel like you can move around. That is real. Money is energy. It is fuel that allows you the freedom to do what you want, go as you please. I explained this to one of my relatives. I told him, I said, when I was working a 9-to-5 job, because here's the thing, if you work a 9-to-5 job and you don't understand money, your worst fear is losing your job. If you're an entrepreneur, you know what your worst fear is? Getting a 9-to-5 job. Having to get a job is your worst fear. See, when I was working a job, I felt like I was a slave. And I'm not a slave. I have freedom. Really? The only time you have freedom is at 5 p.m. on Friday till 8 a.m. Monday morning. That's when you've got freedom. You can come and go and do whatever you want. The government doesn't worry about it. They don't need to shackle you down in a shed somewhere because they know how much money's in your bank, so you can't get very far. You can't do much, and you got to be back on Monday morning. So it's like, yeah, let the horses run free for a little bit on the field. We don't need to watch them. We know they'll be back. They got nowhere to go. They got no money to go anywhere. The day I walked off my job, and it was funny, my boss's boss's boss pulled me in because I went into, it was a Friday on my birthday, July 13th. I went into work with shorts and flip-flops on. And the boss, his boss's boss, was like, I admire you for what you're doing, but are you sure you want to do this? You're getting a check every single month. I used to be in Amway back in the day, and I was all into that personal development stuff, and I thought I'd be able to do it, and I made some money for a while, and then it stopped coming, and I had to go back and get a job. Are you sure you want to do this? I made more money in a week than he did in 3 months. See, the key is knowing what to do with that money when you make it. That was the key. I didn't have that part fully down yet at that time. I didn't know then what I know now. It's one thing to make the money. It's another to have the ability to be able to keep it, to understand that, you have seasons. Some seasons you doing 20, 30, 40,000 a month. The other couple of months you doing 2,000 to 4,000 a month or zero. It happens. Can you survive during those downturns? That's why now my only thing is if you do not have money making money for you, you're not making any money. You're not making any money. I don't care how, well, I make 100,000 a month. Really? Is that your money making that for you, or because you got a gang of people on auto ship every single month? Well, I got people on auto ship. Then you're not making no money. That's not residual income. Yeah, it is. I don't have to get up in the morning and work for it. Yeah, but if they don't get up and work, you don't get any paid anymore. That is your goal. Put yourself in a position where your money is working for you. And if you're starting from scratch, you need the resources to do so. Do what wealthy people do and use other people's money. Get a loan, knowing that you got to pay it back. Don't get a loan to go buy a car, to go buy shoes, take vacations and clothes and stuff. You get a loan and you put it to work for you in a business that's going to generate you an income. You want to purchase assets with your loan, not liabilities. If anybody wants that, if you got a credit score above 650, shoot me a message. I can get you plugged in. Anyways, that's all I have for today so far. This is Thursday. There will not be a KGX presentation. I'm not doing any. The next time I do a presentation, it will be the new company presentation. The next one I do, which will probably be in a couple weeks. Looking at what today's the 4th. Yeah, probably about 2 weeks. So no KGX presentation tonight. Depending on the news, I will be back for late night crypto talk, however. So get ready. Exciting times. I like that, Eldridge. You know, when you're making money or your money's working for you, your office is anywhere in the world. You can go anywhere and still make money. You don't have to be landlocked to one certain spot. You don't have to worry about, do I have to fight traffic in the morning? Wherever you go, you're going to make money. So with that, you guys have a great day. Hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.